What is the reality? I talked about that with Carole Nakhle. She's energy economist and director of the University of Surrey's Crystol Energy Program.
Well, all these figures are really like engaging in a guesswork because we don't know exactly how much ISIS is producing oil and how much of that oil is being sold on the black market and for how much, what price is it. So there are so many unknowns that come into the equation. I remember last year people were talking about billions of dollars that ISIS made. This year we're talking about $20 million approximately on a monthly basis. But again, I use these figures with a lot of a high degree of caution because we don't know for sure what's happening. We know that these revenues are shrinking because of production dropping, because of sales dropping, but we don't know how much approximately these figures, are actually getting into ISIS coffers.
And Carole, as we know, there's international restrictions out there on buying oil from a group like ISIL. So how is it that this oil is even getting to the market?
Well, from the beginning, ISIS oil was not sold with legitimate means. It was always sold on the black market. After all, they are in a region where there was all along a sophisticated web of smugglers, and those smugglers were trading with all sorts of things. So oil was one of them when ISIS came to power. So in this sense, some of that crude oil was getting to the market via the black market. But for ISIS, actually, what is more important today is not the oil itself, the crude oil itself, but it is the oil products, like the refined products such as diesel and gasoline, which you need to drive the cars, to drive the trucks, and also for heating. So that is more important for ISIS today than the selling of crude oil, which has shrunk because production has been declining naturally, partly naturally, but also because the allies have been attacking, not actually the oil fields per se, but they have been attacking the infrastructure that allows that oil to be transported.
So has that campaign been effective then?
Where the coalition and the bombing has been effective is in reducing the operations of transporting the oil, of trading oil, of refining the oil. However, I have to say that in terms of refining the oil into more usable oil products like diesel or gasoline, there I think the operations have not been as effective, mainly because ISIS is able to build very small improvised refineries. So even if the bombings destroy one refinery, it's very easy for ISIS to go and build another one. So if you want to really stop the oil trade and oil activities of ISIS in that region, whether Syria or Iraq, you just go and liberate those regions from ISIS.
I'm sure, are well aware, U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump has been saying that a central part of his policy against ISIL will be to take back the oil fields. Is that realistic, that someone could actually do that?
I tell you, I understand the intention because people say that, of course, oil is providing a good source of revenues to ISIS, not all of it, but a good chunk of it. And therefore, if you take away that oil, you're going to deprive ISIS from an important source of revenues. So I understand the thinking or the intention behind it. However, that oil, those oil fields do not belong to ISIS. They do not belong to Mr. Trump. They belong to the Iraqis and the Syrian people. So in this respect, we cannot really say we have to go and take the oil fields back. However, we have to remember also that ISIS has an ideology that has many sympathizers. And I think unless you tackle that ideology, unless you go to the deep root causes of the problem, that organization is going to survive with or without oil.
Carole Nakhle, energy economist and director of Crystol Energy, University of Surrey. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.